I watch you all the time, every week, and I go, man, his backyard is crazy. And my dad lives on like 9 acres, and I know how much work it is, Barry, because I'm there every Saturday. My dad's elderly, so I'm clearing weeds, there's always something broken, there's always something to fix a fence, and I'm looking at you and I go, how does this dude handle all that acreage? And you're building jumps, dude. And I know the weeds alone. I don't know how you deal with it, man.
I have a lot on my plate, and it gets stressful sometimes. But I don't know. I don't know why I continue to do it. I keep adding more and more, and it's a lot of work. My hustle is no doubt a 24/7 hustle.
Okay, so we're going to do this, and then I'm going straight to Rad Day.
I'm going to see Rad for the first time.
All right, Kevin, let's introduce our guest, man. This is a big one today.
Big one, dude, big one. Everybody, thank you very much for coming back to the BMXPERTS Podcast. Barry Noble's on the call, on the show. Barry, thank you so much for taking the time, man. We appreciate it.
Of course. Happy to be on here and talk some BMX.
All right.
Danny, man, what do you got? What comes to mind, bro? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I can tell you one of the things, Barry, that I always knew who you were. I followed your racing career, especially around the Olympic times, 2008. Back then, you were in the trials, and you were looking really good. And 2020, man, I'm like watching the Grands streaming, and I see this dude in all this red fly gear on a Haro. And they're like, Barry Nobles, and dude, my ears perked up. I'm like, did he say Barry Nobles? Because I thought you kind of disappeared from the BMX scene, Yeah, you did, and you were hauling ass. And then I go, holy moly, this guy's not playing around, right? So what I ended up doing is I watched the Grands, and then I started researching you and go, oh wow, he's got a whole YouTube channel, and you did this whole build-up where you decided to go to the Grands. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Barry. It was something about kind of a winner take all for the title, and that's what inspired you to kind of get back into it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, through COVID, it shut down everything, right? So just after the 2016 trials, getting second behind Corbin, it was kind of like, it was just defeating, right? You missed, it was the second Olympics I missed out on, and which was my own fault. And so I just kind of needed a mental checkout, and I've always been the rider who's dabbled with, I just wanted to experience everything two wheels. And I was dabbling with mountain bike stuff at the time and freestyle stuff. So it was just kind of an opportunity to kind of step away and kind of pursue the crankwork stuff, this other passion I had, which turned into dirt jumping and going on this whole other adventure. And yeah, shoot, man, that 3 or 4 years went by. It was like, I was out of BMX, and it was never part of the goal, right? It's just,
right.
3 years goes by really quick, and I was just checked out, but I was still riding, I was still doing everything I normally did. I just wasn't going to races. And then COVID shutting everything down, I had nothing to do. And then USA BMX posted a winner take all. I was like, well, shoot, I told my wife, I was like, hey, you want to, and she was actually not even exposed to racing. She met me through mountain bike and freestyle stuff. So I was like, hey, you want to go check out the Grands, this is blah blah blah. I told the whole story, and I think it was kind of just a time killer. It's just this one-time event that I was going to go do, and here we are, 2026. I'm still doing it. 6 years later. Yeah, wow.
Your second life in BMX racing was almost bigger than your first life, and not to say you weren't successful.
I would say it's bigger for sure.
Yeah, because your following is insane, dude. And
thank you.
I've never seen so much interest in the vet class until you started, breathing life into it. And now watching Vet Pro, dude, I'm telling you, it's just as exciting as watching the elites. Because I'm like, all right, let's see what's going to happen in vet. Because now you got all these guys that are up and coming and that are actually going for it. And I think it's really awesome. Is it your plan, Barry, to keep going into your 40s? I know you're about to turn 40. But do you think you're going to keep on going with this? Do you see a finish line? Do you have a plan after BMX?
I do have a plan after, yeah, and I'm not going to leave BMX. I've definitely found a new love for it over this second chance at it, I guess you would say. Yeah. And it's just part of growing up and maturing. And when I was young, I was just an Alabama kid that we all grew up back then. I could say we had looked at magazines, right? So I just grew up looking at magazines and wanted to experience all this stuff as a pro BMXer. Then you get exposed. I moved to California and I just love two wheels, whether it's a motor or pedals, and I just wanted to experience everything. You know, I've always just been that personality, kind of jack of all trades, master of none type thing. That's my whole personality. And as I've gotten older, I've experienced a lot in my career. And when I left California, moved back to Alabama, married my wife, we decided to have a kid. It's just life kind of took over and life really slowed down. And I just checked a lot of boxes of little personal goals that I wanted to do. And going back into racing, just more and more, I found like this is my true love for two wheels. It's where it all began riding a BMX bike, and I did all that other stuff, but I came back to BMX, which was my roots and what I really loved the most. And because of that, it's really made me appreciate BMX more. It's made me look at BMX in a completely different light, and it just really made me kind of focus on just one thing. And that was the biggest goal when I started racing vet. Was I just dabbled in everything, right? I've never been that guy, that best or that champion, that whatever. So when I raced vet, I was like, well, let's just focus on, I got everything I need. I don't have these distractions I had in California, and I've matured so I can kind of keep my head down, focused on one thing. I'm like, let's just see what I can do physically, you know? And my goal was really train and push and really just line up on the gate in practice at nationals and just drag race with the double A's. You know, I just didn't have interest on racing 20-year-olds anymore. And so then that obviously snowballed into, well shit, now I'm up for the vet title, and I'll do a vet title. We'll see where we go. And then I never had plans to go for 3 of them, you know. So it was really cool to accomplish that. And
the interesting thing about your career is your relationship with Chase, because I think that took you to another level. Because now I know everyone says Connor's the ambassador of Chase, but I kind of look at you as the ambassador of Chase only because you put out so much content and you support that company so much. Like, dude, I watch all your bike builds. As soon as you get a new bike, I'm like, oh, sweet, he's putting a bike together. And I'm sitting in my office working, and I realize, I go, damn, I haven't made a call in a half hour because I'm so locked into you building your bike. And so that part's really cool. How did the relationship with Chase come about? Did they approach you? Did you approach them? What was the deal with that?
You know, well, I will say too, like Connor was day one Chase, you know, he helped build that brand from day one. So that's why, I mean, Connor's still around, you know, he's got such good brand loyalty. But, you know, I mean, even coming up through like years ago, I've always been very active on social media. Pete Delusky and I have always had a great friendship. You know, he's always the hard one and always kind of running his mouth. Everybody knows Pete, you know, but because of that, we always just kind of just shot shots back and forth to each other for years, and we could laugh about it. We always had a really good friendship, and I've always loved Pete. And even earlier, before I ended my elite career, we kind of dabbled in that idea because Christoph understands the power of social media, and at the end of the day, all these sponsorships, it's all about selling bikes, right? Well, I knew that from an early young years. It's like, if I have to sell bikes. If I want sponsors got to sell bikes, you know, or I have to sell bikes. So we always there was always something there with Chase. And honestly, as an elite, I never really pursued it. And if there ever was something there, I felt like I wasn't. My name, I couldn't live up to the Chase name. Right. I was an elite, you know, so I didn't even feel right even entertaining it. But I mean, let's be honest, Chase is the modern day GT. You know what GT was when I was a kid, looking up to that team, like that's the pinnacle team, right? Well, that's what Chase is now. So it would always be such an honor to ride for that brand, and I've always loved their bikes. So when Pete actually entertained this with Vet, this was 2021 season. I had actually just done a full season at this point and didn't really take it. I took it serious on one ride, but I just want to go ride. You know, if I won races, it was cool. But by the time the next 2021 Grands came around, like, shoot, I actually have a shot at the title, right? And but I wasn't prepared to beat Mosquito at the time. He was
dominating.
Yeah, he was there to win the title, and I'm just kind of all over the place. So once I started getting a taste of that, it was kind of like, you know what, this Vet thing is actually pretty fun. I'm putting the socials out. We're getting a lot of engagement. I'm this new guy into the class, and not to take away from anything into the class before, but it was always like 2 heavy hitters for years in that class, right? And so now I'm the 3rd guy coming in, giving these guys a good run. So I'm starting to see this. We're getting a lot of engagement. We're getting a lot of just eyes on us, and obviously through my own socials, I'm seeing it, and like there's something here. So Pete spoke to me. Pete and I were chatting. Jarth and I had always hung out at like night shows of even my league day.
You guys are buddies, right? You and Jarth are pretty much buddies.
Yeah, back then we were pretty close, and so we always hung out. Well, at least I thought we were, but we always hung out quite a bit. So Pete was always around. And so he kind of entertained this at the 2021 Grands, and I was like, yeah, you know, this kind of fits the direction that I'm going. You know, it's having the support of that. And Haro they were pretty much checked out when I got the Haro thing. That was for mountain bike. They didn't care about BMX. They didn't see any of this good that I was doing. You know, it was kind of a headache. I'm like, you guys keep wanting me to do this other stuff. It's like that. I don't agree with the direction y'all are going, you know? I'm like, but I'm doing something here. Let's do this. You know, they didn't want to have anything to do with it. So I was kind of slowly checking out with them anyways. And then the Chase thing came out, like, oh, perfect. Let's go, you know?
Yeah.
And, I told him, I was like, hey, the only thing is the only conflict we had was our tire sponsors. I have a great relationship with Maxxis Tires. I'm like, if you allow me to keep Maxxis and do my own thing there, let's do it, you know? And then, so the next year I started with Chase, which again, like I said, the Elite, I have to live up. I need to live up to being a part of this brand. I don't want to be the social media guy, which I love, but at the same time, like we need to execute, right? We need to be like, I need to be hitting all the marks. I need to be that 1% better consistently. And so it was a big motivation having Chase, having that brand associated with me. And honestly, I mean, I still tell Christoph today, like when we're at the races, me setting up the pits was never part of the plan or anything, but I like to have a good home base between motos myself. So I offered, hey, let me have some pits, and I'll just start setting things up. And I wanted to provide a good space for not only me, but also the team. I want to have this cool presence. And dude, it just literally started snowballing, and just the better atmosphere we had, the better we all raced. And it just got better and better. And I treat the brand like it's my own. You know, it's not like I'm just representing Chase because they sponsor me. I honestly kind of view Chase like it's my own brand, you know, and I'm very proud to be a part of the brand. And when we're at the races, I always say it's like, that's my house. You know, when I'm at the house, that Chase pit, that's my house. So
there's a lot of pressure with that. I'm sorry, Kev. There's a lot of pressure with that, and that Chase wearing those Chase colors. You guys are always out in front. Do you ever? That's kind of like the GT thing, like you're saying. You see factory GT riders, you expect to see them in front, and it's the same thing with Chase. Like the Chase boys. You hear that all the time, and so I know that puts the pressure on you to win. And I heard you say something the other day. Sorry, Kevin. I'm going to stop after this one. I heard you say something the other day. Well, it was right before the Grands. You and Chelsea were walking around the pits talking about I race BMX, and you said something about I finished in second, so I'm washed up. And I'm like, holy crap. That's when I realized the pressure.
That's the thing, right? It's like, it's not – we always joke with Pete because Pete's always like, it's win with Chase. It's not second with Chase, you know? And he's just keeping it fun. But, you know, with social media, it's like as soon as you get beat, it was, he's done. He's on – everybody's on to the next winner, you know, right? So that's kind of like where that came from, people just running their mouth on forums and stuff online. So we just kind of wanted to wanted to play off that.
Go ahead, Kev. Sorry about that, dude.
All right, Ed. So, please forgive me. I used to own a bike shop in Temecula.
Cool.
And I'm curious, does Chase or all of these high-end BMX race brands these days, are they direct to consumer or do they go through bike shops? Are there Chase dealers out there, or do they sell all their stuff off of their website?
Well, I mean, one, I'm just an athlete, right? So I don't know all these details, but yeah, dude, we have dealers that sell Chase for sure.
Okay, all right.
It's
So
not
I'm just wondering.
just off the website. Yeah, we got dealers.
I want to go back and share a story with you a little bit. When you were on DK, I was a DK dealer, and I sold a lot of DKs out of my bike shop because of you, man. So
what bike shop were you in Temecula?
It was called Friction Ride Shop. I was over by. Did you live in Temecula or the area?
I lived in Menifee.
Okay, do you know where the bike shop is over off of Winchester?
Was it the one? Did it turn into the secret bike shop or something?
They were my rival.
Oh, okay.
My rival.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but
no, I didn't. I always dealt with Tina at Menifee Bike Shop. I mean, you know how it is too. Like, especially at our level, we're not really dealing with bike shops as much anymore. So, I don't know. I mean, shoot, I lived there.
I was one of the only shops in the area that A, carried BMX race bikes, and B, carried DK bikes.
Oh,
and
cool.
I sold. This is back when DK went from white to green. Do you remember what year that was?
From white to green.
White.
Or you mean green to white?
White race bikes to green race bikes, right?
About the team colors or the bikes itself, Kev?
The bike color.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Anyways, I just wanted to say that I appreciated what you were doing for DK because you helped me sell a lot of bikes, bro.
Oh, very cool. Good to know.
Do you remember the guy that worked at DK that was a sales guy that was on Survivor? Do you remember his name?
The TV show Survivor?
Yeah, there was a guy that my sales rep at DK was on Survivor.
Oh, wow. And, no, I don't know. Maybe I signed with DK in 2012 till 2016. So maybe it was just before my time. They had a lot of changes at that company. That's
when I had my bike shop in 2012. Anyways, There was a really cool guy. I wish I knew his name, but he was my sales rep at DK. What was that like? Did DK take care of you? Was that a good deal? I mean, because
it was. You know, I always DK was growing up. I was the kid, obviously, tricks and freestyle and all this. So looking up to the pros, I wasn't the kid that looked up to, like, I'll use Christoph, for example, because he's my boss now. I did because he was the champ, right? But I looked up to him. But the pros that I really inspired me, who motivated me, was Robbie Miranda and Todd Lyons, type of rider. So, 2011, I ended up getting a ride for Todd for a year. But 2010, I was trying to get a DK deal, like, to fill the footsteps of Robbie Miranda and DK was always kind of a dream for me. 2010, we spoke. They just didn't have the budget that I needed to switch over from Claiborne at the time. And SE, I won the Pro Cruiser title that year. Todd Lyons called me like the next day, offered me a ride for 2011, which is like my first proper paid gig. I rode for 2011 with them, and then at the end of 2011, during 2011, Huffy bought DK. So at the end of 2011, DK had a huge budget, so they reached back out and they had the money that I needed. And not that I wanted to leave Todd. Todd was great to work with, but I just needed a little more, like I needed more money. And then it was DK. It was the dream that I always had. And they had just simply better bikes, better race bikes for the direction we were going into the next Olympics and all that. So, they treated me well. That was my official, like I was a paid AA pro at that time. I got paid well, and the sponsors were rolling in. It was really cool. And I honestly thought I would retire with that brand. I guess I technically did retire because my last AA year really was with them. But when they decided to switch colors and they separated from Huffy, I didn't agree with didn't agree with anything they were doing. They were just completely going in the wrong direction. And hopefully I'm not stepping on toes saying this, but yeah, it ended kind of sour. I used to have a lot of love for that brand, and I lost it all when we.
You said they separated from Huffy. This is something. Please forgive my ignorance. I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean by they separated from?
I don't know. I mean, surely. I mean, I guess I can't get in trouble. This is 10 years later, but yeah. I mean, I was under the impression that, well, not under the impression, they bought their self back from Huffy. Again, I don't know, maybe someone sees this and like, what the hell's Barry doing? But I mean, I got told that they wanted to buy themselves back from Huffy, and then they want to get back in bike shops and all this, and which is great, but this was 2016 at the time. I mean, firsthand, everything is kind of going online, right? Unfortunately, bike shops weren't as strong as they used to be, and I'm hearing all this thinking, what, like, you want to get rid of the green, you want to go back in bike shops and be in these red, white, and blue colors that are red colors that everybody, it just sounded like a terrible marketing strategy for the brand. And so immediately, like, I think that lasted another 10 months and I was gone, and I just couldn't get on board with it. I couldn't agree with their direction and people that were behind the brand. I'm like, I don't know. It was kind of like Chase, I view it was a brand that I was a part of, that I had passion in, and I'm like, I'm treating it as if it's my own type thing, and it's like, what are you guys doing? And
I did. Barry, I don't mean to beat the dead horse, but yeah. Huffy owned DK.
Yeah. My checks came from Huffy Corporation. Yeah, from 2012 to 2016.
Did you know that?
I'm shooting myself.
Did I know that?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? No, absolutely not. No, I didn't know.
Yeah. You were naughty, like, yeah, you dumb fuck, you should have known this.
No, I'm laughing at you.
You're laughing at me, man.
I thought that was a pretty normal thing, so or a well-known thing.
Oh wow! I had no idea that.
Did DK bikes show up in department stores? Because I'm trying to.
Yeah.
They did, didn't
they had like a low-end version in Walmart and stuff, and yeah, it was really cool. I mean, honestly, we had money. We had money to be pros. It was very cool.
Yeah, because I noticed there's hyper products that are in Walmart right now.
Yeah.
So I guess they were going in that direction.
Yeah. I don't know what all happened with there, but yeah, it was unfortunate, because I really enjoyed being a part of that brand, and so it kind of sucks how it ended.
I love DK, man. And I had no idea they were owned by Huffy, man. That sounds that's trippy. Because Danny, imagine this, Danny. We go to Interbike. We go to Interbike every year in Vegas, right? I take my kids out of school. My kids are in junior high school, and I take them out of school for the weekend, and we go to Interbike for 3 days. And DK had the biggest presence at Interbike every year, and that's why I like DK, man. They had some good bikes
cool stuff back then. Yeah, they did really cool stuff back then.
Yeah.
That was always a really cool brand when they were green.
When they were green.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm sorry. So, Danny, I'm sorry. I bogarted the questions, man.
No worries. So one thing I was going to ask Barry about is you had that great deal with Mercedes. I know that came to an end, but you had a national commercial with Mercedes. That was really, really cool. Can you tell us a little bit about that commercial? What was that like shooting that?
Yeah, no, it was, man, that was such a cool opportunity. I'm still so grateful for that brand today. They've literally, like, after a couple years now being separated, the years of us together are still helping me out today. And it's really paved a new path for me, which, again, very grateful for them. Yeah, it was just right place, right time. During COVID, everything was going virtual on Zooms, and I was already doing the van stuff, and someone reached out to me on social or an email. I got this random email that was a little weird, and my gut was telling me just like, let's take time to read this email and reply back and see where it goes. And I was on this like this Zoom type. I don't even know how to explain. It's like a Zoom. It was a panel of like 10 of us. I guess like an Interbike type thing, a virtual. I don't know how to. compare it, but what we did was it was a bunch of us. It was like there was an NBA Wee Man from Jackass was on it. There was just a bunch of just higher profile type name. A lot of people much bigger than me, and there was like a family lived in their van, and really it was just a Zoom thing like this where we each had a turn to kind of whoever's tuning in. We kind of walked around through our van and showed our setup and whatnot, and it was just really just this kind of one-off thing, right? Well, afterwards I replied back and hey, thanks for including me, this and that. Is there anything more? Y'all have any plans? Is there any kind of activations you're doing moving forward or work with that, whatever, And they said, actually, yes. We don't know exactly where we're going with this yet, but we are potentially playing with some ideas.
Okay.
And, out of those 10, 11 people, whatever it was, 2 of us got selected for a brand partnership.
Wow.
And and it was really cool. And it was I've been, not me personally, but I've been around a lot of people who've had car sponsorships and stuff like that. And a lot of car sponsorships are just kind of lease deals, and some of them don't even pay or anything. Well, this is the first time Mercedes had done this. So it was like they had nothing to really judge it off of. So it ended up playing out very well for me. And I sold them on the helmet deal. I was like, well, let's do more. Like they wanted the logo. We're going to do a van. We're going to give you a van. We're going to build it out. I was like, well, let's do more than just this logo on the chest. Let's do this. I sold them on the Red Bull helmet type thing. And we can do the helmet. And then obviously that's got to come with a paycheck because I straight up told him, I was like, at the end of the day, I have a van, and having a new van doesn't pay my bills, So let's do this thing. So, and they're out of Atlanta. So it was guys, Southern dudes, close. So we really clicked really well. And, a few weeks in, this was a long drawn out process, right? Such a big company. It took 8 months to finally do. By the time we actually signed the deals and we're all legit, the guy who I had developed a good friendship with, he was part of marketing. Something came across his desk about, hey, we're working on this commercial. We want to have this dirt bike guy doing this jump, whatever. He's like, well, we just signed a BMX guy. Why don't we just use him?
Nice.
So he asked me, and they're like, would you be interested in this? It pays X amount. This. I'm like, I'll drop it. Sign me up. Let's go.
Exactly.
No, it was 2 separate things, right? It was a full Mercedes sponsorship, and then on top of that, I had a commercial coming in and royalties coming from that. It was those 3 years with Mercedes were. I wish I was a little smarter with everything that all the money. But, dude, it was great. And by the end of the 3 years, we had a daughter at this point. She's over 2 years old, and we were kind of just we were growing out of the van. And the van that they gave me, it took about 16 months to finally get it. So
wow.
16. We had a baby when we had Willow. She was very fresh with the first time I met everyone. So then 16 months, right? She's already pushing 2 years old. So we had a solid year and a half in the newer, bigger van. And by the time that last season, was at the end of 22 season, we were getting pretty burnt out of the van life stuff. It was just a lot, having a family. And so my contract was done March 23. When was the Rock Hill World? No, I'm sorry, 24. I'm a year behind. Yeah. So my contract ended in March of 24, May of 24, just before Rock Hill Worlds. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of, and I knew that earlier in the year. We had a meeting about it, and I didn't really want to do it anymore, to be honest. It was they're pushing their EV stuff and budget cuts, so there was money getting cut, and then it just kind of all played out in the perfect time. I was like, all right, well, this is my opportunity to be able to buy my motorhome that I wanted, because we wanted to upscale. So it was, long story short, it was really just the end of my contract, 3-year deal, and it was just time. I needed more. The van life was tough as a family, again, because of that relationship, is really, I don't know what the last 5 years of my life would even look like if I didn't have them, to be honest. It would have been very different. So I'm very grateful.
It's really different too, Barry, because you just don't see a lot of, outside of Elise Willoughby with the Toyota thing, you just don't see a lot of big time corporate sponsors like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, right place, right time, you know. That's the biggest thing. Like, it's awesome. Elise has Toyota. That looks so good for the sport, right? That was the only thing that I hated to not continue the partnership, was because I didn't want having the brand within BMX look good for BMX as a whole. So that part was kind of hard, but at the end of the day, my sanity and my family was priority. So
I could tell you look way more comfortable in the RV. I saw you wrap that thing all in black, and I go, this dude tinkers with everything. Like, when I saw the RV, I go, nope, he's not satisfied with it. You blacked it all out, and you guys just look really cool. In that last race, you had all the guys just chilling in the AC, and and I was thinking, wow, dude, I could see why he did that now. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah.
No, I picture Barry rolling up to the track with the e-motorcycle in the back of the van, or his dirt bike in the back of the van. But you were living in the van. You weren't using that as transportation, right?
Oh, no. I wasn't living in it.
No, they have
BMX living.
Okay, all right. So you weren't. So it wasn't van life necessarily. You were using.
I could never do that.
All right. Okay.
I could not do that. No, this house. When I left California, I bought this house, and I've been in this house ever since.
Okay.
And his house,
my images in my head were correct then. Okay, cool. Yeah.
The yard, man. I was gonna lead to that question in a moment, because I watch you all the time, every week, and I go, man, his backyard is crazy. And my dad lives on like 9 acres, and I know how much work it is, Barry, because I'm there every Saturday. My dad's elderly, so I'm clearing weeds, there's always something broken, there's always something to fix a fence, and I'm looking at you and I go, how does this dude handle all that acreage? And you're building jumps, dude. And I know the weeds alone, I don't know how you deal with it, man. I have a lot on my plate, and it gets stressful sometimes, but I don't know. I don't know why I continue to do it. I keep adding more and more, and it's a lot of work. My hustle is no doubt a 24/7 hustle.
Yeah, guys, it's Danny Pena over from the BMXPERTS Podcast. I'm excited to announce a little partnership we got going on with SkewedRacewear.com with Cindy Partee. Cindy put together the race kits for us that we're going to debut out in Dirty Fest. They look really, really cool. We should be getting those pretty soon. As you can see, here's some examples of what Cindy can do. Now, the cool thing about this is you can get a full-on race kit for about $195. Now, I know there's some great options out there with Troy Lee and, of course, Fly and things like that. But remember, you're going to spend over $200, $250, and you're going to get a blank slate. With Cindy, you can basically tell her exactly what you want. You can put the logos where you want. You can put your name where you want, numbers on the back, fully custom colors, any design you want. We're really, really excited. As you can see, some of the Send It crews already rocking that apparel. So I'm looking forward to getting the kit. If you guys are interested in this, again, it's www.skewedраcewear.com. Reach out to Cindy and she'll get you all hooked up. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, because this isn't like a full-time job just maintaining your property, right?
Yeah. Now that now it's getting hot and the grass is turning green, it's starting to grow. Like, having my Xmark partnership is huge, because it justifies, it takes me all day. So once the grass starts growing, it's all day every single Sunday. It's a full day project. It takes me about 4 hours to cut the entire property. And then, so if I'm gone for a week or so and I miss a Sunday and I miss a whole week, if I get 2 weeks behind, dude, the grass is out of control. It's wild. It's been, I bit off a lot more than I could chew when I bought this place, to be honest.
No, I was thinking about you, man, when I was out at my dad's yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I'm like, God dang, I just cleared that area 2 weeks ago. I'm clearing it again, and it's just endless. Even Kevin makes fun of me. He goes, "Is there ever an end game?" I go, "No, dude. It's a cycle."
Hey, Barry, it's like Daddy's painting the Golden Gate Bridge. It just never stops. It just keeps going in a circle.
Yeah, dude, that's what it is. That exactly. I'm on my whole area is 20 acres, and I did the math one day, and every Sunday I cut roughly 10 acres of it.
Damn, that's a lot, dude.
10 acres.
A while.
Holy
damn, that's crazy.
And
I hope you have a riding mower, bro. I hope you're not pushing it.
Oh no, I got a big mower. I was on a call about a week or so ago with Xmark trying to work on get a big this mower that's got like these wingtips that flip up, so I can go literally like 3 times as big.
Nice.
Yeah.
You get one of those signs on the side, like they on the side of the road, mowing in process.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot, especially from coming to California, living in the desert, not really having any grass at all, and coming back to the South, and yeah.
So is your property conducive to BMX, e-bikes, moto, everything, or bikes?
Everything. I don't do when I'm home from races. I very rarely leave my driveway. My goal is to have everything convenient where I don't have to leave home. That's I unless I'm taking my daughter to school, I leave home once a week.
You know what gives anxiety about your setup, Barry? This is gonna make you laugh, dude. You got your starting gate, your first straight, and Kevin, he's got massive gaps in between the jumps. I mean gaps. And every time I see somebody besides Barry riding it, dude, I hold my breath. I'm like, that shit was so big, dude. It's like
they're not small.
You're gonna run into logs that are supporting the jump on the other side, and I'm like, I would literally kill myself at Barry's house. Because I was thinking, imagine if I was doing gates at Barry's house, I would have to keep going to the left and going around the jumps because there's no way I would want to jump those, dude. And and it's like he's jumping a freaking curve. He just, no problem.
Yeah. Hey, when I build stuff, it's like I turned 40 this year, and I just keep telling myself I still feel good physically. I'm good. Putting in the work of an elite level athlete is really hard at my age. I just feel it, right? But when it comes to riding, I just figured, hey, as long as I just keep things, as long as I don't stop, why would I get uncomfortable with these size jumps, And so I just keep building like I always would have, and don't stop doing it. So the day I have to take maybe 6 months or a year off, God forbid I never have to, for the next while, I'm gonna stay comfortable, and like that stuff's still gonna continue to be easy, right? So
how was it one that up to the jump? Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, try that again, Kevin.
Yeah, go, Kevin.
Are you the first one to do the jump, or are you the first one to nut up and do a new jump, or do you let someone else try it first?
Oh, dude, I don't ride with anyone. I'm always by myself. Yeah, I don't really have much of a local crew here. I mean, I do. There is locals, but I ride by myself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just I'm just out in the country, and the kid, like the 16-year-old kids, the up-and-comer BMXers, none of them really live nearby. And then the older my guys I grew up with, they all have jobs and normal lives, right? So my goal is just I build in the yard. I constantly build. I'm definitely not a no dig, no ride type guy. I mean, I grew up in the country, not having anybody to ride with. I've always been self-motivated. So I'm grateful enough to or I'm lucky enough to be home every day to be able to build this stuff. So I'll build it. And if anyone wants to come ride, the door's open. And I actually tell people when they are, let me come, I want to come help you. I'm like, I would just rather you not help. And then it can be done my way, and I don't have to correct. I don't have to teach. I can just get out there and get in my zone, build what I want to build. And when you want to come ride, I'll have it ready for you. That's kind of always been my mentality since I was like 10 years old.
Dude, can I ask you about the e-bike stuff, dude? What kind of e-bikes are you on? Are you on an dirt bike, full blown motorcycle, or are you on an e-bike like a razor type of bicycle, or both?
Well, I have them all, but the like the mid-size, like the Suron size bike that I ride majority of the time, that's Razor's. It's called Stage 2 e-moto, but it's Razor's brand for the Suron market. I guess there's since Razor's technically like a kid's brand, right. The legal department doesn't let them. I mean, I think marketing would be way better if this bike was branded under the Razor brand, but I guess legal department doesn't allow it. But yeah, the E-Moto, it's the same category as like the Sur-Ron bikes, just a lot more of a motocross style look. But I still had the little modified Razors. I mean, I got a Carbon Canyon E mountain bike that I ride all the time, and I'm a dude. If I could make a living by this electric world, I would probably just stop pedaling and do it, because I just have so much. I love it so much. I have a street bike, Harley Davidson's brand Livewire. I have one of their bikes, and it's killer. Just the electric stuff. For hobby stuff, electric is the way to go. I'm not sold on the electric cars or anything yet, but as far as like just toys and hobbies, dude, I will never buy a gas motorcycle again.
Wow, that says a lot. Yeah.
What do you say to these purist mountain bikers that bag on mountain bikes so much, dude? Like when I had, right when the e-bike thing was coming out, and my brother was doing e-bikes with felt and that type of thing, and dude, people were like, dude, what do you say to these guys? Because they hate them, and I was like, dude, more the merrier, man.
Yeah, dude, just get out of the way, because it's only a matter of time. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's every generation, right? It's like motocross with 2 strokes going to 4. Everyone's gonna run their mouth about something, and at the end of the day, dude, like sadly I don't even go to our mountain bike spot anymore and ride with anyone unless they're on an e-bike, because it's like, why? I'm an athlete though. Everybody's like, oh, you're not getting a workout. Like, well, I am getting a workout, but instead of you doing 8 to 10 miles, I'm going to go bust out 20 to 25 miles,
right,
and have way more fun, I'm going to do double the amount of trails you're going to ride. So it's so stupid. The beef that people have with the e-bike stuff is ridiculous. I understand the Sur-Ron side of it, the dirt bike side, because these kids are like messing up trails and running up, because they are dirt bikes. So that part's unfortunate. As far as mine, I mean, I luckily enough have my own property, so I can just do whatever I want, build whatever I want. So, and I love these bikes, but it is a bummer seeing the image that industry is getting, with especially kids out your way in California, who they only really have the street to ride, so that kind of sucks. There's just nowhere you could just go and just rip around. But yeah, dude, when it comes to the e-mountain bike, I think it's so ridiculous when I see all the people running their mouth about it. I'm like, cool, dude, you go half the speed and climb that trail. I'll see you when I'm done. Like, it's a no-brainer. I will never purchase, just like the motorcycles, I will never purchase a analog mountain bike again. Like, why would you just go pedal up a hill when you can get the same workout and just do the double? Like, it's ridiculous. I'm
a motocross guy. I've ridden dirt bikes my whole life. Now, did you say that you have a full-blown dirt bike too, or just this?
I don't have like a Stark. Mine, the bike I have is like a small version of a Stark, though. I take my bike to the dirt bike. It's like riding a big 85 or a 125, like one of the 4-stroke 125 sizes. Like, it's a smaller wheelbase. It's a smaller bike, but to be fair, it kind of keeps me within my limits. I just don't need. I grew up riding motocross. I just don't need to be on a 250, 450 size bike anymore. As much as I would love to have a Stark, I don't need that in my life. I need to stay within my boundaries. But dude, I have one of my local tracks I grew up riding. They have a Supercross track, and before it was like a proper Supercross training track for a while, and I could ride half the track on this bike. And now they tamed it down quite a bit, and now it's like the perfect track for an e-moto. And it's like, I mean, I love motocross. That's any BMXer. We all deep down feel like we're riding a motocross bike when we're hitting jumps, right? And so I love that world, and I love dirt bikes. But now, again, with the e-moto, just the lack of maintenance, and it's just simpler. I'll never buy a gas powered dirt bike ever again.
Is the torque similar to a power band, or is it much worse?
It's kind of like the power band feeling, when it hits, but it's like when you hit the power band immediately, it's
torque. Yeah.
It's the feeling you get riding electric is incredible. It is so, but granted, I jumped on a kid. I had a kid, just this fast local kid we were riding, and he was like 12 years old, and like we're battling hard, you know, and he's really good and obviously have some experience. So we're really pushing each other. He's on a little 85 and I'm on my e-bike. So we switched bikes. Dude, I forgot how to ride it. Like, I'm missing gears. I'm forgetting to pull the clutch in. Like, yeah, it was pretty funny. He was an eye, but dude, I just didn't. I was like, this thing. I did one lap and thought, this is not even fun to me.
Dude,
but
wow.
Maybe that's because I'm a bike rider. You know, that's.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's because I'm a bike rider, though. We don't have gear, right? We just pedal and go. Well, electric is just you just turn the throttle and go. So.
Is it a technical throttle or is it a thumb switch?
Oh, it's just like a dirt bike. It's just like a dirt bike. A combustion dirt bike. Same.
I was telling Danny about this the other day. I'm driving home, and these 3 kids on these damn the dirt bike looking ones, right? Not the stupid square ones, right? That are on street bike. The dirt bike ones, right? Was travel and shit. These 3 kids come flying off. I live in Elsinore, and they come flying off out of a dirt lot onto the street. And they're doing wheelies and shit. And they're all wearing the same shirt that says "law-abiding citizen" on their shirt, and they're just kicking ass, right? And I was telling my family, I go, man, if I had that thing when I was growing up, man, I would always be in jail, dude. And I was like, there's no way that I could have dealt. I mean, I've got enough trouble growing up on a BMX bike, let alone that thing. But I'm like the one guy that pulls these guys over and goes, dude, you guys kick ass, man. Do your thing. And everybody else that I ever noticed goes, you fucking kids, man, get off the street. I'm all, dude, go for it, man, do it. So that's why I was just wondering what you thought about that, because I envy these kids so much for what they have to play with now.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. I mean, when I left California, it was only within a couple years the Suron thing took over, and it's huge. Temecula area and over the Laguna area, that whole region. Dude, I see videos every single day of these kids. I'm like, I'd be out there riding with all these kids if I still lived out there. You know, I'd just be the old dude. Yeah, these kids rip, man. It's really cool. It's just unfortunate they don't have more places to ride. That sucks. It sucks to see them. I mean, you're out on the street doing wheelies, cool. We all do that. But then you see kids getting hurt and stuff. It's like, because they haven't actually learned how to ride on the street, you know, like none of them have, like they don't have proper motorcycle backgrounds and they're just out there ripping around. So they haven't actually learned the rules of the road. That part is what sucks. And it's hard to watch. True.
Yeah, true. See, now you're being rational, Barry. This is an irrational show, bro. Being rational. But you're absolutely right. But I envy him big time. That's why.
Yeah.
But, anyways,
I was gonna shift gears a little bit because I've seen Barry doing a lot of pump track riding, and I have like no experience with pump tracks. Kevin has a little bit. What's your thought of pump tracks? Do you think there's a future in that? I mean, do you think it would become a legitimate sport outside of BMX racing? I think it already is actually, but do you see it getting bigger and overwhelming BMX? Because you rip on the pump track, and it looks like you have a lot of fun doing that. But do you prefer the BMX as well?
I think pump tracks are just the fundamentals of riding. I think I think every kid on the earth needs to have a pump track nearby because it's just the fundamentals of riding a bike and learning to turn and just learning to move. And riding a pump track teaches you so much. As far as the racing, I did it for a couple years. So obviously I had to experience it, but I don't have any interest on it. I love riding it. I mean, I don't really go out to my local track anymore, unfortunately. It's just a smaller track. It's like I can't really ride at full speed at my track. It's just turns aren't big enough and all that. But we have that new pump track nearby, and now I actually go out there more to ride that than anything. And yeah, dude, I mean, pump tracks are awesome. I love, as far as the racing scene, I can't see that being a huge future. I don't see it just stopping because a lot of cities have put a lot of money in. I wish I would actually make it more organized and have like some US thing, but it's just such a free for all type thing. It's like local parks, you go ride for free, and which is great.
Yeah.
I think it's just hard to put a sanction around something that's just free to do all the time. And then Like, and not every kid is going to want to pay to race. Like, well, I pay to race if I can just ride this on my own time, how I want to ride it every day of the week, So with that, I don't think the pump track scene is going to die. Everything's getting made in asphalt. These tracks are going to be around for years. I hope it continues to grow at that aspect, but I think it's only going to help BMX. I would love to see just that being a spot to ride and a spot to practice and a spot for these kids not to be it's like going to the skate park, right?
Right.
A skate park or a pump track is a lot more user friendly for everyone, and they can still learn so many good skills. And I think if anything, it's going to push them to BMX. Or whatever the next chapter is, something that for the kids that do want to be competitive with it, they want to actually be competitive on two wheels,
right?
Push towards BMX. But as far as it growing a lot more, I don't know. Pump tracks are kind of ruled by BMXers now as far as speed. Obviously, there's fast mountain bike guys, but the bikes are smaller, and it only makes sense that a BMX bike goes a little quicker than a mountain bike. So I think that in itself is going to take away from mountain bikers that want to compete in it, but they're still going to ride because everybody loves riding pump tracks. It's hard to argue pump tracks aren't fun to ride. So,
would you do one for yourself? Did you have any plans on making one for yourself?
Oh, dude, weekly my wife wants me, can we build a pump track? Can we have a pump? But I don't want to build a pump track unless I can asphalt it, and I don't have the money to be asphalting a pump track.
It would be a lot of money, dude.
Yeah. So if I could find a way to fund an asphalt pump track on my property, absolutely. And I would have days once a week where everybody's just invited. A local comes out, But I would love to have one out here, but that's a big reach.
Who do you think uses a pump track more, a BMX racer or the BMX street guys? I would almost think that what I've seen are way more street dudes are using the pump track than racers. Every time I go out to Gale Webb, I'm the only guy with the BMX race bike, dude. Everybody else are on Fits and Colts and all this other stuff. Do you have an opinion on that?
Well, those guys aren't going to the BMX track,
Right.
So it's like, I think it is the freestyle guys. It's a lot more flowy, right? And I think there's a lot of BMX kids that get kind of trapped in you just go to the BMX track. No, a lot of these kids, I mean, we've seen in my whole career, a lot of these kids don't really expand their skills. There's not a lot of racers going to the dirt jumps and going to the pump track, and I think there needs to be more, but I think that's the freestyle kids are a lot more about that flow and that rhythm and making their own jumps, and I think that's why you see more freestyle guys for sure. But I would love to see more racers because I think it's just going to make for better riders in general.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How are you feeling about this year for you? You're healthy now, Barry. I know your shoulder's healed up. You're looking pretty good. What do you think, man? You think you can get this title again, or is that a priority to you?
It's not a priority at all. My biggest thing is world champ. I want to do world champs in Australia. I'm going to do world champs in Australia. It will more than likely be my last international world championship. That's my only really main goal this year is world champs. Nick
gave us the same vibe, dude. I asked Nick the same thing because we had Nick. I said, Nick, you gonna go for the title, man? I think you could do it. He goes, I don't care about the title. He's just like you. He's like, oh no, I don't, not worried about it, And but I
argue that.
He said I wouldn't put any money on it.
That's what he said. Yeah. And I look at it and I go, well, you got Jeff, you got Barry, and you got Nick. And I go, one of these guys is in line for this title. And then I know for a big deal for you, Barry, is that Pro of the Year thing, man. How many of those do you have now? Like 3 or 4?
I have 4 now. Yep.
Holy moly, man. Yeah. That's crazy. Your popularity is through the roof, dude. I love it. You're popped up on my phone right now. Something about same camera at half the price. So you're all over social media.
Oh yeah, that one just went live.
And so I think if you keep that whole momentum that you got going on, sky's kind of the limit for you, even after your pro career. Would you race amateur if you wrap up as vet, or what do you?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, really?
Nah. Maybe if I'm like 50 or something, but that's not an interest on me anytime soon. I would have to exit from racing for a few years to even No, that doesn't even sound fun to me. No.
Wow.
I mean, like I said, that might change 10 years from now, but right now, if I think of that, like it would literally have to be me. I would have to be away from racing for 10 years. And I don't plan to really slow down what I'm doing. Yes, the title is not going for a fourth title is not really, I just want to grow, right? I'm like, okay, what can I do to grow, to be better, to be more, to be able to provide for my family more? And I don't see a fourth title changing my life in any way, but I'm going to be going to the races. My goal is world champ, so I'm training, so I'm going to be going and doing racing. But saying that, like day twos of nationals are pretty painful for me now. It's hard. It's just really hard to get up and warm up my body and get it. I mean, not that I'm old, but I've put my body through a lot of abuse for the last 20, 30 years, right? So an early morning start to go to gate starts is not fun. It hurts, and it's been hurting for a couple years now, especially for the intensity I've been putting in. So this past year, 2025, was kind of like my elbow surgery was kind of like a reason to, okay, this is my opportunity to step away without just kind of stop and kind of recalibrate everything. And I didn't have that much intention on racing this year with the purchase of Echo. I knew that was gonna that was kind of the retirement plan a couple years ago when that started, but here we are. I won the first race of the year. That was very surprising to me because just personal off season.
Can I interrupt you on that really quick, Barry? When you won the other day, right? Yeah. And I saw you and Chelsea talking, and she was like, I'm not ready. Wah, wah, wah. She was teasing you, dude. Like
she's been listening to it, you know?
Yeah, I think she expected more of you than you expected of yourself. Like, you know, expected you to win, and you were riding strong, dude. It was awesome.
It's hard. The biggest thing, I knew my endurance wasn't going to be there. I mean, by the second turn, I was hurting pretty bad just because this off season just was really hard here. So I have very, very little time on the bike since Grands, and I just didn't expect anything. You know, Nick's going for it, and back to Nick saying that. I've known Nick for a long time, and I wish he would just – I say all this hoping he watches this, but I wish he would just say he's going for the title. He's putting in the work. There's no way he's going to ignore it, but I think he just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to admit it. He don't want to put – if he doesn't get it, it was like, oh, it was never a goal anyways, but – knowing Nick as well as I know Nick, I wish he would just actually put it on there and actually go for it and give it a good crack because he's got the ability and the speed to do it. I just think he just he gets in his own way sometimes. And if he does, if he sees this, I hope he doesn't take offense to that. But I say it with nothing but love. But I would love to see him just kind of come in and just take.
Yeah, I noticed you raced one day and then you raced one day and you filmed the next day. Is that kind of be what to expect now? Or you're going to do like maybe the Friday race, maybe not the Saturday? Or
well, they changed the schedule, so we don't race at all on Fridays anymore. We're back to Saturdays, Sundays.
Okay.
Sundays, meaning that's 7 a.m. start. That Houston did light a new fire. Like I said, I just came in with a really weird mindset. But going into Rock Hill next weekend, I'm a lot more motivated to get out there and. Because you know what, I am still capable. I want to be able to end this ride on my own terms. So I think just a lot of being older, being a dad, being a husband. I'm getting a lot of background noise, you know. So it's not that I second guess a lot of things. Like I don't want an extra chance of being injured, and I don't want something to happen where I can't.
Yeah.
Be here for my family. So that's the biggest thing. But I know I'm 100% capable, and I'm still riding really well, and I still love it just as much. So I don't plan to slow down any kind of riding. It's just the competitiveness. People are getting hungry. There's younger kids. I say younger kids. There's 30-year-olds coming into the class. They're all hungry because we've put a big image on the vet class, and not just me, it's everybody. You know, because of what I started, it's brought in a lot of the double A's, and we all as a group have made this class very cool, right? But I think because of this image I've painted, there's a lot of these younger kids thinking they're going to come in and they're also going to live this same lifestyle and be able to do. I guess everything that like I'm doing, or Nick and Jeff, we're all kind of living the dream, right? And I think a lot of these kids coming in at 30, 31 thinking, oh, I can beat these old guys, right? I can beat these guys, and I can do. It's like, well, I just never stopped, so they still got a job. So it's weird. There's this weird balance between it. Like we're showing the potential of a second career in vet, but yet it took the years leading into it to be able to have this career. So I don't know. It's
do you ever think about
it's all over the place right now going into the season?
You worry a little bit about guys coming up that might come in there and challenge you, because you're the guy to beat, obviously. So it's like they want to knock the champ off. I know that Jeff's the champ right now. I mean, but obviously everybody looks at you as kind of like the guy to beat in vet. So if you look at somebody like Maris Strombergs, what if he jumps in the vet class? For BMX fans, it's huge because all these possibilities come in your head. What if Connor decides to race vet? What's going to happen? What if Maris comes? It goes. I go crazy.
I think it's super cool. I mean, it was when I saw Nick starting to train, I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Like we got another. I said it in my last vlog from Houston. It's like no hate on any of the other vets, but when one dude, obviously I came in hot with the fire come 2022, and I got on the gate. I got on the gate with the mental space that y'all are racing for second. It's as simple. That's the space that I had to be in to be better than every one of those guys. I want to win every race. I want to win this title. I want to make a point that I put in the work, and I'm going to go win. So you guys race for second type thing,
Yeah.
And that's just kind of like the mindset you have to go in to be that extra 1%. And I saw, and Jeff went into that headspace last year.
Yeah.
And I was seeing that, and it was cool, but it was almost like a head-to-head race, which is harder. You got two of us, but you got 6 other people that aren't really giving us a good challenge. Again, not taking away. There's so many other fast guys. Alan Hudson is always a threat to the first turn, and so there's always these other fast guys. But majority of the time, it was like a head-to-head race. I knew Jeff, or Jeff knew that I was coming. So now with Nick coming in and him putting in the work, it's like, it's exciting. Dude, Houston was a blast for me because every lap, granted, I did in motos, I had to mentally like bring it down a gear. I can't go all out like I did in the last few years, but because of that, like I was in second, and then I get footage behind someone, and footage behind someone makes the content better. So I'm looking at it in that aspect. Like I don't need to win all these motos like I used to want to. I just want to go win the main, but I'm not up front. I'm capturing all this action on my camera, and it's gonna be good views, right?
Right.
And at the end of the day, my content is more priority than my racing, but it helps each other. So my biggest goal moving forward, I just want to be able to put more time in my content, because putting more content out is going to allow me and my brand to grow and be bigger than just going for a 4th vet title,
right?
And not really benefiting myself personally anyway. So I'm looking at it. I want to be able to do more content and better content, and then if dudes are racing and we get more race action, that's just going to make my footage better. So if Maris, you use Maris for example, if he gets on the gate, sweet, we got a video with a 2-time gold medalist. Let's go, dude. Let's bang some elbows. Same thing when Twan Van Gant came to Oldsmar a few years ago. It was cool. It was a new challenge for me because like, cool, no one is. I knew where I was at. I'm like, cool, let's really see. Granted, he probably checked out after Olympics and wasn't really putting the work in, but still, like, you raced Olympics 8 months ago, like, cool, let's see where I stack up, But because of that, it made me rise up. It made me grow. It made me just be a little better. So, that's
awesome, man.
I encourage it. I think it's super cool seeing it. It's just the young kids coming in.
Yeah.
I wish there was some kind of rule to race in vet. The younger ones coming in, there's always somebody with a weird fire, and those are the ones that not scare me, but I don't want them white lining just because they're going to dive bomb something and I wreck because they're trying to beat me or something, or beat someone, or prove themselves instead of just racing. Because when it's the former elites that we've all racing together, we all just understand it a little better. Like, yeah, we all have something to prove. We're all competitive. We all want to beat each other. But there's just something about a few of these younger guys that have come in. They come in with a little more cockiness, and it's kind of like, well, where's that coming from? You know, just we're racing vet.
Did you have that cockiness when you made that jump to pro for the first time? Did you have that edge about you when you went in there? Like, I'm going to prove myself. Do you have any memory of that at all?
It's different. Yes, I'd say it's different though, being vet, because at the end of the day, we're all dads, and we're all competitive. We want to go for it, but we all also want to be safe. And I know I ride aggressive. If you want to win, you have to ride aggressive. You know, Jeff rode aggressive last year because he wants to win, right? And I respect that. But it's different when you're 20 years old. You know, it's a less calculated type of aggression. But yes, when you come in, I mean, the first season I started actually winning AA races, 2008. When it started, I definitely came in with a different confidence. But you have to have that. You have to have that confidence to have that mindset stronger than the guy next to you. You know, it's all a head game. At the end of the day, it's like, who's going to get on that? Who wants it? Who wants to get to that finish line first more than all the 7 other dudes on that gate? You know, so it's just so hard to compare the young 19, 20-year-old new rookie pro versus this vet who might have come out of retirement or decides he never had a chance to race pro so he's coming from the amateur class into vet at 30, and that's his like a pro. You know, it's his new pro. Well, it's very different in that case, right? It's like, you don't start a pro career in your 30s, you know. So
I never thought of it that way, but that could be the case, because you could have some fast older amateurs that are like, well, it's too late for me to go elite, so I'm going to go straight to vet. Yeah. Is there any rule for that at all, or they can make that jump if they want to?
Yeah, they can. I'm seeing it, you know, which is cool. These kids, it gives these younger guys a new light. They have that pro opportunity, which sucks. I mean, it's a whole nother topic, but it sucks that USA BMX got rid of the A Pro class, because the A Pro class is such a stepping stone. You kind of learn the foundation of racing at the pro level. Then plus at A Pro, everybody's hungry. Everyone's there to prove I'm pro now, you know, and everyone has something to prove, but no one really has the consistency or the technique around it. So it's better, probably better to watch, because a lot more rough racing, you know. And saying that, I wish the elite was a little more aggressive nowadays. Granted, it does happen every now and then, but it just make it a little more exciting. But these guys coming into vet, it's like, well, if you never really learned how to race at a pro level or a consistent full gate, it's just different. You know, it's just, I mean, I wouldn't say anyone's doing it wrong or doing it in a way that I don't agree with or anything, but you see little things and you're like, well, where is this going to go, or what's this going to turn into, or something like that.
Kevin, do you have any questions? I knew you had these, like, I've asked like 5 in a row, so I knew you wanted to say something.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a silly question, and I probably should know the answer to this. But what parameters does someone have to meet to race vet pro? In other words, do they have to be a certain age? Do they have to be retired or out of the sport for a certain amount of time?
I think it's just you 30 years old. Hey, they're gonna happily collect entry fee money, no problem.
So in other words, an elite pro can't say, okay, I quit elite pro, I'm going to be a vet pro the next day. Is that
I don't know where that falls. I think, no, I'm sorry. There is, I take that back. You have to not make money for a year, because Tanner Sebesta did this. And he had to go one full year, like no semi money or anything. You have to go one full year, calendar year, of not making $1 in elite. Then you can go vet.
Okay.
That makes sense. I wondered that myself, actually.
And 30 years old or
it's 30. Yeah, it used to be 33 or 34, which into modern day to now 2026, I think it should be 35. Should be the I mean, Jarvis won an Olympic gold medals at 33, you know, so.
That's what I was going to say. Like, 30's young for BMX standards.
Absolutely.
It's not like the 80s where 30 you're done, you know.
Right. What's ancient for a vet pro? 40? 38, 45? What is ancient?
I don't know. I know Eric Roop has 6 vet titles, I was told. Because someone said, are you going to go? I think when I got my third one, Justin Wall, like, you going to go for Eric's title? And I'm like, how many does he have? He's like, 6. I'm like, no. I'm not going for 6.
Anything's possible, man.
Yeah. I just, back when he's getting 6 titles, that was just, if anybody's going to get 6, I could see it being Nick Long, just still putting in the work till he's 45 years old. He's a BMX diehard.
It's possible. You may not win, but you can still race at that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I think Mosquito, Jonathan Suarez won his title actually Christian Besserine. I want to say he won his last title at 40-41. I believe.
Yeah, they're in their 40s. I know Mosquito was in his 40s.
Yeah, I want to say he was right at 39-40 when he won his.
Yeah. And then Tyler's got to be up there too, right? He's got to be.
Tyler is 41, but he won his last title. I mean,
been a minute.
Last title was 5 years ago, 5-6 years, or his 2020. The 2020 was Tyler's last title. So I mean, he would have been 35 years old, 36.
Yeah, he's still fast. I watch his videos all the time. He's quick. Does it give you a mental edge, Barry, because of your physical? I mean, you're in great shape. Does that give you kind of a mental edge when you go into a race? Like, none of these guys are in my shape. Do you ever feel that?
No. I mean, I don't think of it that way. I mean, I'm short, right? So
yeah,
I balloon out more than my muscles just have nowhere to go. So I'm not even really that strong. I like the physique side of things. I like to look good, like, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I got a young hot wife, so I want to look good for her. So, but I'm really not that strong. I actually don't lift near. Everything I do nowadays is really kind of functional to just keep my body working properly. I'm definitely not as strong as I once was, but I still do. I do 100 push-ups every morning and stuff like that. So I just keep a physique but no, that's just how I've always been. I've always had kind of like that bulldog stature my whole life, and I've never once thought I'm stronger than these guys, It's more about, but I thought I definitely have the same mind, the confident mindset. It's the wording is a little different in my head.
Yeah, it's funny, and this is off topic. Well, kind of on the same topic is I've been to races, and I'm older, I'm in my 50s, and I've been to races, and I've been in staging, and I hate to say it, I don't want to sound like a douchebag, man, but I look around and I go, God, these guys have been eating a lot of donuts, But you cannot judge a book by its cover, man. Yeah. I've been beat by guys that are way heavier set than I am. I'm short. I'm only like 5'6", 5'7" on a good day, so you can't judge it on that, man. Some of those guys are just fast. It doesn't matter what they look like.
Barry, it's going to happen again at Dirty Fest. He's going to get beat by a guy with bigger stature than he is.
Yeah, we're looking forward to racing Dirty Fest, Barry, because
we're going to race each other.
And we're going to go on the gate together. Yeah, so we've been both getting back on the track, and it's a lot of fun, dude. I got to tell you, and you could probably relate to this, is that getting on your BMX bike and riding it, and having fun with it, it just never ever goes away. Like I could not ride my bike for years, jump on it, and just be excited again. I'm like, oh wow, just like when I was a kid, it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away.
That's awesome.
Right, real quick, I got to ask you about Echo. You mentioned Echo. Danny, I've been talking about Echo for a couple of weeks now. Dude, how did that whole thing come out?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's it was a very long process. When I all right, here I go. I'm going to go on a rant real quick. So bear with me.
Yeah, go.
Back in 2020, when I came back to racing, that was just one race. Then 2021 season came in, and I'm getting, again, I've been doing mountain bike stuff, right? So I have like half shell helmets, and I'm not wearing a full face near as much as I once did in BMX racing. So I come back to racing, then I like Ray at Fly sends me a new helmet, and then I've always had one of these buckles on my helmet my entire life. And the one I have now, I actually went back to it and started racing with it, was a dirty white one I've had and it's a white one. So I want to say I bought it in 2011 when I was on SE, because I had white gear and I always coordinate my colors. So that's the farthest back I can backtrack it. So the one I race with now is still from 2011. 21 came up. I'm getting a new helmet. I'm like, and I only have this one dirty one. I'm having to switch them. Like, I got to find one of those Echo things, right? And I'm just dead end street, going to bike shops. No one knows anything. They're like, hey, if you find anything, we'd love to carry them again, right? I'm like, okay. So I start realizing business brain is kind of kicking in. Like, okay, there's something here. There's a market here. Obviously, I knew the product's been around forever, but I never studied it, right? I never looked at the numbers. So I start going deeper and deeper. I'm like, all right, like I start trying to source to create my own. And the Echo one is such a basic patent. It's hard to recreate it without making more of something you don't need. And it's such a simple product to use. So I go down those rabbit holes in dead end road after dead end road. I sent an email to a random number. I think I cold called a number, and then they gave me another email. And then finally, this was 2021. So finally come 2023. Yeah. 2020. What was my last title? 2020. Yeah. During 2024, I finally got an email back from a reply that I emailed this info at Echo, whatever it was. And I just, hey, I can't find your product. My name is this, social platforms. I really believe I could sell your product. Like, I know I can't find them anywhere, but can we come up with a licensing deal? I personally need your product. I have 6 different helmets on rotation that I go through between dirt bikes and everything. I just want to get your product. And I really think we could partner together, and I can move this, whether it's financially gained for me or whatever the case may be. I just wanted the product back in the market. Right. And they pretty much came back and just said, like, your best bet would be to buy the company. We'd be willing to sell it to you.
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa, that's what I tell my wife. I'm like, that's crazy, right? Like, I'm thinking, well, shit, what does that even look like? I've been an athlete my whole life. I didn't know what that sounds like, looks like. What's those kind of details, right? And then, so I said I was interested, and dude, they were trying to close in like 60 days. And wow. I'm like, oh, I just started. Like, this is too quick, And like I said, this was 2024 is when by the time we were having this conversation. And 2024. So then leading into 2025, I started having the elbow issue, and I'm not riding as much. I'm putting a lot more focus in. It's like back and forth. I'm sending emails, don't hear anything back for 2 weeks. And we got 4 different people. And it was it was such a learning curve for me. I'm like, is this going to like happen? Right. And it was also very much part of my retirement plan. Okay, this could potentially be my next chapter.
Right.
And by this point, like, I'm signing NDAs, I'm seeing numbers, I'm seeing all their background stuff. I'm like, dude, this is absolutely my retirement plan.
Hey guys, Danny Pena over at the BMXPERTS Podcast, along with Kevin Wilson, the founder and producer of the show. Hey, we want you guys to take the time to check out our website. It's under www.bmxpertspodcast.com. Kevin's put a lot of work and energy into creating the website, and of course he's the creator of the show, and we're definitely jumping into the merch game more. So we have some of the newest gear out right now. As you can see, the BMXPERTS Podcast hat there and the latest t-shirts. This is the stuff Kevin and I have been wearing on the show recently, and we're really anxious to get some of this merchandise out. If you're interested, please go to the website, place your order, and Kevin will get you all hooked up. We got more stuff that's in the works. Kevin's always at the drawing board there trying to come up with some more ideas for the show. We definitely appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us as the show continues to grow, pick up more momentum, and we're picking up a lot of great guests over the last couple of months. It's been super exciting to see the progress of the show. But anyway, as I mentioned, please check out the website, take a look at it. You can see us on YouTube, BMXPERTS Podcast, and we'll see you guys out there. Have a great day.
Right? right? If we can just pick this back up, this brand has had no marketing since since the 80s, 90s, whatever. It's just been a product that sells itself, right? So I'm like, okay, we're on to something here. And just kept pushing forward, and it took a long, by the time I actually took ownership, we're from the first day I started tracking it, where it took me about 3 years to finally get this product back in a package and sell it to the consumer, and just had the opportunity. I jumped on it.
You're gonna do helmets, right?
Do you want to do anything else with it besides the helmet clips? Or are you trying to do?
I have planned. The helmet clips are taking a lot of my time right now, getting that moving, and the demand is very overwhelming at the moment. So that's my focus at the moment. I just need to get these. Once they're going, I have a couple more things that I want to put under the brand. It's my main priority nowadays is Echo. So all my eggs are kind of going into that basket. And funny, before I get too far, Bill Prince out of Florida found this in his garage recently. And this is the original packaging from the 80s. Wow. So it's cool now that I have mine next to this one,
That's
really
awesome
cool to see. So he was like, dude, I found this. Did you want it? I'm like, please. I would love to have that on my shelf. So it's been cool. For the past couple weeks, they just sit on my shelf. And I've learned a lot about Bob and Kay, right, who were the original founders and owners of Echo. And it's been such a meant to be type thing. I'm so confident and know it's going to be good for me and my family and help and be part of our next chapter. But learning, I wish I would have met Bob and Kay, but dude, it was just him and his wife, and now it's just me and my wife, and it was just their love for BMX, and now we have our love for BMX. So the people I actually bought the company from, they were not involved in BMX at all. It was just like a product on the shelf with a bunch of V-twin motorcycle ugly parts that were attached to the brand. So for me to be able to bring it back into the BMX community, and obviously I want to go much bigger than BMX. I'm looking at it. There's no reason every kid with a full face on planet Earth doesn't need a quick release buckle and not have to loop the D-ring anymore. So
when you have your gloves on, it's the hardest thing ever to loop your buckle. I'm always like, shit, I put my gloves on, and then I do it. So that's what I was thinking when I saw that product.
It's wild. It's selling a convenience, and it's kind of just been a goal of it's a product that I've always wanted my whole life. Always just been the guy I need this niche, there's BMX, prime example. Everyone just is cutting pieces of the pie, right? Everybody makes a new BMX bike and slaps their name on it because little Johnny couldn't get a factory ride, so dad makes their own factory, and it's just a lot of pieces to the puzzle. So how do you just recreate? How do you, in today's society, how do you make something new that's convenient that everybody needs? I'm like, right, here it is. It fell in my lap, and I have that product now. So
Echo is massive, Barry. I mean, I started racing in 1982. And Kevin's about the same time I started racing. Echo is a staple in BMX, dude. Everybody had Echo helmets. If you weren't running a helmet, you had an Echo helmet. I mean, that's just the way it was. And
if you didn't have an Echo helmet, you were a nerd. You couldn't show up with the track without an Echo helmet. Am I right, Danny? Am I right? You
Absolutely.
had to have an Echo helmet.
Echo is massive. Because I could think back to the early 80s and think of certain products that were always there, like Haro, JT Racing USA, Echo. All these things were there. They're just staples in our sport. So when I saw Barry drop that short about, I'm the owner of Echo, I'm like, holy shit, that's massive, because that's just a huge thing for you, man. And I really hope it blows up for you, man. I think with your visibility on social media, you should be able to market that fairly well. It sounds like you already are. Yeah. And that's just a good starting point for you. I think it's going to be huge.
Barry, with this podcast, you can sell at least 2 more of them, dude.
There you go. Well, I appreciate it. EchoProducts.com. They're live now.
Hey,
I'm very proud to have it.
You can go back. You can use the ECHO spelling, right?
I own both names. I own both spelling now.
Oh yeah, because it did change at one point. That's
yeah,
right.
I had the K, so I have rights to the K as well. I'm not going to use it. I'm gonna keep it EHCO, but yeah,
Danny,
I have them.
Danny, do you know why they changed the name, Danny? Did you know?
Was it an ownership thing or?
There was a lawn company, maybe the same company that Barry uses to mow his lawn, but it was a lawn care company. They sued Echo and they had to change the name, I believe.
Yeah, that's where the wording changed. Yeah, it's Echo, like weed eaters. They're still a huge name, but now there's so many other neck Echo brands and other things. There's an Echo like hockey helmet. So not that I plan to. I have a great relationship with Fly, so I'm not trying to make it an Echo Echo helmet in itself. But there is an Echo helmet that's in hockey that is quite the confliction. So that would be a big hurdle.
You're big on Fly, so yeah, that would be a what do you call it?
Yeah.
Conflict of interest or what have you?
Yeah, but there's some ideas floating around. So, I hope to bring something in the future.
By the way, Barry, the Fly gear, man, I love it, dude. Like I notice a lot of times when you're out riding, you're just wearing the Fly gear, not so much the chase stuff, and it gives you an idea of what's available and what's out there.
Yeah.
You know, so that's really cool. And some of those Fly commercials on YouTube, they're awesome. I just watch them for fun.
Yeah. They're filming. They got this guy Jerome, good buddy of mine. He kills it. He's got such a good eye to that stuff, and he does all the motocross stuff. And it's been really cool seeing his vision come in all those videos and stuff. They've been doing a really good job. It's another brand I'm just stoked to be a part of. So
we're down to the last few minutes, Kevin. I'm just going to tell. I just want to tell Barry 3 videos that always stick with me that you did, dude. 1, you climbed a tree to get your freaking camera out of the tree. And I was like, the drone flies up in this tree, Kevin, and it's high. It's not like a tree in my front yard. This dude just scales up the tree and pulls the thing down. Yeah. And another one of my favorite videos, it's you and Chelsea are in looks like a church parking lot doing sprints.
Yep.
And you're injured, so she's doing most of the sprints. And she was like, Barry was giving her a bunch of directions, and she's like, "Go fast, do this, do that, do this, stop." She was getting overwhelmed with all the cracking up, man. And she was getting super competitive and trying to beat her own times. That was a really fun video. And then there was one where Willow is racing the Strider bikes or whatever, and she finished second, and she started crying because she didn't. And I was like, "Oh, she's hooked." You know,
which is crazy. You know, you say that, not to interrupt. You say that, but dude, she's not hooked at all. So it's like, when she was crying, I'm like, where is this even coming from? She is the least competitive little girl that I've ever met. Like she has no interest in riding bikes. Like she only rides bikes if other kids are around riding, but she's not going to be a racer by any means. Which I wish she would. That'd be tight, right? But
none of my kids really got into it either. They like riding with me, but none of them really wanted to do the racing thing, you know? Yeah, I get it. All right, I don't have anything else. Kevin, you got anything else?
Barry, I have one more question to close out the show, and I asked Tommy Brackens this same question to close out his episode. Looking back over all the time, all the times you've been on a BMX bike, what's the sketchiest thing you've ever done on a BMX bike that you can remember?
Oh God, that's got to be a lot of things for Barry.
I jumped out of a hot air balloon with a BMX bike one time. It was a slider, but
wait, what happened, man? How'd that happen?
I was doing a lot of skydiving. You know, Paris has a drop. I lived across the street from the Paris drop zone, so I did a lot of skydiving when I was living in California, and we had the hot air balloon jumps. They took off literally on the other side of the 215 for me. So one morning you pay the guy $100 and there's like no rules, anything goes. Like when you're skydiving, it's like there's a lot of rules that goes in when you're getting in a plane and jumping out. But the hot air balloon, you give them $100, you do whatever the hell you want to do. So I took a bike. I took a little bike up in there, yeah. So I did like a base jump with it was a little Strider bike, but It was still a bicycle. But that's probably the first sketchy. Sometimes I'm a pretty calculator rider, so that's the first sketchy moment that kind of comes to mind, which is that was obviously a very life or death type situation if anything goes wrong. But yeah.
Oh, did you have fun at the Supercross event? I saw your some clips. I saw Chelsea's clips and your clips, and I was like,
That's right. Yeah,
that was
a
fun.
blast.
Like that.
Yeah, I got 20 years relationship, 20-year plus relationship with Fly, and I don't get to do. We're all in our own bubble, focusing on our own type of, as an athlete, racing on our own. So we don't follow, or a lot of people don't. I don't follow motocross very much. I love it. I love watching it, but I'm just selfish athlete focused on my own thing, right? So now that they have a Supercross locally, Birmingham, Alabama. I didn't get to go last year because it normally conflicts with Rock Hill. So this year, obviously, it was a weekend. So my mom took Willow, and so she's with her nieces. She's with her cousins about an hour and a half away, and we've had a little date weekend, just the two of us. So, dude, we had a blast yesterday. When I go to the Supercross, I take advantage of all the perks with fly racing. You know, like they got the suites, and they got all the backstage stuff, and there's a lot of like the moto guys I know personally. So just being in the backstage, but I'm away from my racing, right? So being in their world, it's just, dude, it's just such a cool environment. Like I said earlier, as BMXers, we all just kind of visualize ourselves as being on a motocross bike when we're on the track, right? So being out there with all those guys, being backstage, doing the track walks, and then Fly is obviously a huge sponsor of the Supercross season, so you can go anywhere, right? And we're up in the suite, and we watched the first heat, and Robert Bebout, old BMXer who drives their rigs everywhere, he goes, "Hey, you want to go down to the start?" So I was, absolutely, let's go down to the start, you know. And Weston Pike, I don't know if you remember Weston Pike, Supercross race for Fly. He's like a Fly ambassador now after his injury. He's in the suite. He's kind of like making fun of me. He's like, "Oh, you're going to go down there and see all the start?" You know, I'm like, absolutely, dude. It's like, that's like we were closer to the start last night than Kelsey's ever been in Tulsa watching it on 8, you know. And so we're down. Like I did a shot where I'm filming right behind the moto, and I'm just getting pounded with dirt, but I'm like, I'm going to do it once and film this. And dude, it was such a cool experience. And then the guys come off the track, and Ken Roxon's doing his interview right now, and you're just in the mix of all of it, just like we're at a BMX race. You know, it's funny, like those stadiums are so big, you have so many more people than a BMX race, but when you're down there on the floor with those guys, dude, it felt just like Tulsa. It felt like the night race and the night show in Tulsa. You know, you're on the floor. Yeah. You don't have the crowd because everybody's up in the distance, so you don't see people, right? You just see bodies. You're not making eye contact, but the ones you're making eye contact with are mechanics, and one of them, the Triumph guy who runs the Triumph team, runs Peachtree City BMX, so he's like BMX world. So I know him from the BMX world, but he's like got the headphones on and running his team, and it's just such a cool side that we all don't get to see, you know. And I was like a kid last night. I'm like, dude, I've been to so many Supercrosses, being in the pits and all that, but dude, I was up down on the gate, and so we were like, Kelsey and I were just like two kids. We were just so like, this is sick. Like, it's just like our world, you know. It's just like being on the floor of the night show in Tulsa, which makes you appreciate Tulsa in a whole different way, you know, because we don't see it as an athlete. I don't know what it really looks like from the fans' views, right? But now, last night, I was able to be a fan, but I'm like, holy, this is the world we all would love to say we're a part of. Yeah. It's pretty, like, USA BMX puts on a pretty good show where it's pretty spot on when you're down on the floor. So I know I dragged that.
That stuff, I talk about it all the time. That Pro Spectacular is really fun to watch. Yeah. I've never been to the Grand, so I've only ever watched it and read about it.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, every year I'm like, oh, it's time to watch it. You know, I was just telling Nick, I get excited when you guys are, because now you're at your peak, you're at your best. Everybody's mentally ready, you know, and it's just amazing to watch. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Who's your favorite motocross racer of all time?
All time would be Bubba, James Stewart. He was always like, it's hard to argue him, you know. McGrath was like my guy growing up. He was like the ultimate hero, you know, but James is just James Stewart. Okay. He's very different from anyone in that sport altogether, and he was always really, really cool to watch. So
I'm a Jeff Ward fan, but Bubba was too.
Yeah, generation too, right? He was
McGrath racing BMX. So you see him at Dirty Fest, and you're like, shit, that's Jeremy McGrath. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah.
It was different to seeing there's Greg Hill and oh shit, that's Jeremy McGrath.
Totally.
It was different.
Dude, I remember it vividly, like when the internet came out, dude. When the internet came out, the very first thing I ever searched on the internet was Jeremy McGrath. I don't know how old I was then. It was my uncle showed me the internet, and he could print out that I was Googling a photo, whatever it was, and he could just print out a photo. So I had just made my own poster of Jeremy McGrath, you know, and it was such he was the first probably obviously me being younger. Jeremy McGrath was my first ever like hero of a sport.
Right.
You know? And he was in Two Wheels, so it's my world. And then now come full circle, like we follow each other on Instagram and we chat, and then and you guys are meeting him at Dirty Fest. It's like it's just so cool how the two worlds have been so connected, and it's really cool.
Woo, okay, so not that you need any help on your social media, bro, but is it Barry Nobles on YouTube? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Barry Nobles anywhere. Barry Nobles 95, I think, is technically the tag on YouTube. But yeah, Barry Nobles on any platform. I'm pretty easy to find.
And EchoHelmets.com for your gym strap?
EchoProducts.com.
EchoProducts.com.
ECHO.
What? Now you got me brain farted. Yeah, ECHO. ECHOProducts.com.
Hey, man. Hey, Barry, we're tickle pink. Thank you so much for joining us, man. And I know we kind of rushed into this episode, but thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. It was a pleasure meeting you.
It was a pleasure meeting you guys as well, and hope to see you guys both at the track one of these days. Maybe I'll make it out to Dirty Fest one of these days.
Yeah, dude. Jump in the motor and come on out, bro. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sounds good. You guys have a good one. It's good to talk.
Peace out.
See you, Barry. All right, man. That was super epic. I'm going to be high on that all day. And today is Rad Day, so it's a big BMX day for me today.
Dude, you were on fire, man. I was like, oh, damn, Danny's on fire right now, man. So that was cool, man. Thank you. You definitely carried that episode, man. I appreciate it.
I was telling Kevin when we were getting ready to start, because Barry was scheduled for tomorrow, actually. So I was zero prepared for this interview, and I told Kevin, I go, Kevin, I'm looking at a blank sheet of paper right now, dude. I've got nothing. So I'm going to have to just go with it. And luckily, I watched that dude so much, man. I could have asked him 50 more questions easily, you know. And I didn't want to keep him too long. And I'm sorry we didn't do trivia, man. I was going to ask him the same questions I asked Nick just to see if he could do them. But I was like, we're already almost an hour and a half. Let's just have fun with it, you know. So it was good.
He's not making helmets, dude.
Yeah, well, he said something with there's some talk to fly, so maybe something will come down the road.
Dude, but, I was so jazzed about getting a Echo open face helmet, dude. My dreams have been dashed, dude. Oh man.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Give it time, man. It sounds like he's going to carry that brand for a long time. So we'll see what happens.
Cool. That's gonna be a good reel that I'm gonna do for how Barry got a hold of Echo. That's a great one.
I'm glad you brought it up at the end, because he mentioned Echo, and I thought to myself, I haven't asked him anything about Echo, and then you closed the show with it, which was perfect actually, because it gave me a platform to talk a little bit about it. So a lot's going on, Kev, with the guests. That was one of our biggest ones. We got more coming. And we've got some follow-up stuff I'm not going to talk about either that's coming up the pipe here. Kevin's going to go.
Are you talking about the bike?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't share anything with that yet. I'll let you steer the ship when it comes to announcing what we're going to be doing.
So should I say something or should I not say something?
Yeah, if you feel comfortable with it, why not?
So in the Eddie Fiola episode, right? He told a story about selling his bike for $45,000, which is insane.
Right, $45,000 is nuts.
The gentleman that reached out, that bought the bike, reached out to me, and he wants to come on and tell. He says there's more to the story.
Yeah.
And he said he would have paid more. So he wants to come on. So hopefully we can facilitate something within the next week or two to get him to shoehorn him in. And then I asked him, I said, well, if you come back on, maybe we can invite Eddie to join us. And he said, absolutely. So I reached out to Eddie, and Eddie gave me the thumbs up. So hopefully that will happen soon. And I'll talk to Eddie about that today if I see him down in Temecula at the Rad showing for the 40th anniversary.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think take a lot of photos today, dude. I think you got an opportunity to get some good footage today because you're going to have, I think,
a camera person. My wife's coming with me, so she's going to be my camera person. So I'm going to hopefully get some good footage for everybody.
Yeah, me and my daughter are going to go to the Manteca Theater here today. We're going to probably leave in about an hour because the movie's at 4 o'clock. I want to get there a little bit early. We're not going to have all the famous people there. Kevin's going to the hottest spot.
Hot spot, man. Well, SoCal wins again, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, when you bought the tickets, was there seats available? Did it look like it was?
I had to go for the 5:10. The 5:10 showing. 4 o'clock was sold out.
Wow, really? Yeah, that's nuts, dude. I don't think we're gonna get sold out.
I'm gonna show up at 3 to talk to people for the 4, and then I'm gonna stick around from 4 to 5, and then go in and watch the movie.
Yeah, take your wife to get something to eat while you're waiting and relax, and then go watch this silly movie. And it is going to be silly, but I don't know why I'm excited by it. You know, Greg Hill would be laughing at us, dude. He'd be like, "You guys."
Yeah. And Shane sent both of us a text saying that you guys need to do a movie review after you get back tonight. I'll do a movie review, but maybe not tonight.
No, yeah, probably not tonight, man. But just text me and stuff. I'll tell you if I'm because I'm gonna probably come home right after that anyway. So
yeah.
That's
all right,
cool.
man. So, dude, I loved your latest episode, man.
Oh, the BMX magazine review for BMX Plus.
I watched it with the wife, and she was like, "Oh, he really loves BMX."
And I got in front of the camera for you, dude, because you told me. Yeah, and it was your idea. You're like, you're never in front of the camera. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get in front of the camera for a minute. And so I did that. That was awesome.
That was good. And I always I get tickled when you say, oh, Kevin, we talked to this person, or I got to tell Kevin about that. And then you said there was the BMXpert on the table of contents, right?
Yeah, on BMX Plus, it asked the BMXPERTS. And I go, I got to let Kevin know that that's the name of our show. But I think we're safe. That was from the 90s, so I think we're okay.
There was when I first started, before you got involved, some guy sent me a picture from a bike shop in Riverside in the 80s, and it said BMXpert on the shirt. And
okay.
And it was like what was it? It was an advertisement. But anyway. Okay. He was trying to tell me that we didn't invent it, and I never thought that I invented it. But anyways, it's kind of funny.
That's all right. It's ours now.
It's ours now, dude. So why don't you drop your channel information, and then we'll go.
All right, man. You can find me on Danny Pena BMX Racing on YouTube. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm dropping content weekly, and I have I've been dropping shorts daily. I've been getting really good at that, trying to keep up with Kevin. Kevin's the master at shorts, so trying to keep up with that. Yeah, and I'm doing about 3 to 4 videos a week, all BMX content all the time, BMX magazine reviews, race reviews, and so forth. And I'm having a lot of fun. Yesterday when I got to do the magazine, I was having fun with it. I was getting excited throughout the magazine, so it was a lot of fun.
Yes, you were, like you always do, man. If you'd like to support the channel, please go to BMXPodcast.com. I will not talk about merch because there already was a commercial for the merch that ran in this episode. And until next week,
the track is closed. All right, man.